Hello there, Mrs. Ehlke here. Today I did a watercolor painting based off of some little flowers that I see right out my front door. They're super cute. They just pop up and they just came up recently. They are little pansies, and so I wanted to paint some with watercolor. So here's my cute little pansy painting that I did with watercolor. I did 3. You could do as many as you wanted. I didn't even add a background or anything, but I thought this would be a fun step-by-step tutorial for you on a beginning watercolor painting. So I hope you enjoy and have fun painting these cute little pansies. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, all right? Thank you so much for watching.
So I'm starting off with my paper taped down to the table, and I'm using a 6-inch round brush with some yellow paint. And I'm starting off with just the circles. I'm trying to make them about the same size. And then I'll do one more circle below them. And these will be the yellow petals of my flower. So I add a point to each circle and kind of connect them towards the center to make the petals. I'm going to do the same thing over on the side to make a second flower. And then usually it's most pleasing to work in odd numbers, so I will go ahead and add a third flower using the same steps as these two, starting with the 2 circles and then a third one underneath to connect them all in the center with a point. Now I'm going to switch to a purple and add the petals that go behind. I'm leaving a little bit of white in between because my yellow is still wet and I don't want my colors to bleed together. So I'm adding the 2 purple petals behind the yellow ones with a little bit of white in between so that I don't have my colors bleeding together. Doing the same on my second flower, and then my third flower will follow along as well. Now that I have my 3 flowers painted, I'm going to go ahead and add some stems to them. I'm using a medium shade of green to make the stems. It's actually a mixture of Prussian blue and one of my yellows. And I'm just kind of throwing these leaves together in clusters because that is how I see them on my little flowers outside of my front yard. I'm not really worrying about them being wet, so they're kind of running together, some of the colors. And you can see some of them are lighter than the others, but I don't mind. I'm just kind of letting the water mix around and on the different leaf clusters here. So I'm just kind of going down the stem, making a couple different leaf clusters as I work down towards the bottom of my painting. Now I'm using a little bit of a darker shade of yellow. It's a quinacridone gold is the name of it. And I want to create kind of the idea that there's those like little wrinkles in the petals. So I'm just kind of adding some lines that go towards the outside edges of the petals to give the yellow petals of my flowers a little more interest. So I'm kind of adding a little bit to the outside edges too, a little bit of shading. That's a pretty watery mixture. I don't want it to go too dark, but I do want to add a little bit of detail to each of my yellow petals. I'm still using a size 6 brush for this, but if you are more comfortable using a smaller size to get some of these smaller details in, then feel free to switch to a smaller size brush. Now I'm adding another coat of the purple to the purple sections of my flowers just to make it a little bit darker. The flowers in my yard have a pretty dark purple going on, and I'm actually not even painting it quite as dark as what they really are because I want it to be a little bit brighter. But I am adding a little bit of darkness to it just to kind of give it a nice presence. The nice thing about using this purple with the yellow is that they're complementary colors, so the purple can really help the yellow stand out even more. I'm also adding a little bit of darkness to the leaves on the bottom so that they just have a little bit more interest and don't look quite as flat. You could just leave them as they are though, it's really up to you. I'm just kind of adding a little line towards the bottom edges of each of the leaves. And I'm not even worrying about like the veins or anything, just to give it a little bit more interest. Now I'm switching to a smaller brush. This is like a round size 1. And I'm going in with my purple paint to add the little lines on each of the yellow petals. It's important to make sure that the yellow is completely dry when you do this so that your purple and your yellow don't mix. So I did wait for my yellow to dry first, and then I'm adding these little details with the purple. And I'm going to keep it nice and simple and leave it at that. I am happy with how it turned out, and I think it's a cute little happy flower painting.